still in the Zerg's favor, 5 ahead of the Protoss. Though that might change once this second Nexus starts chrono boosting out workers. Not entirely sure. The Filvex is like going like Zealot Sentry, but like minus the. Don't do this, computer. 7 stories, computer. It's a long way down, computer. Think about what you're doing before you lag out. I'm warning. That window is 10 feet away, computer. 10 feet away. And then it's 7 stories down. You think about it. I'll get back to you. He's going Zealot Sentry here, but like more on the Zealot, less on the Sentry. And extra photon cannons for good measure. Zealot Sentry is super strong because you can get a lot of really good force fields and really maximize your DPS and your positioning with your Zealots. But if you don't have sentries, you don't have force fields, and if you don't have force fields, you don't have that really strong positioning. But we do see some roaches here. Figure it out, computer. Figure it out, or you're grounded. And Evolution Chamber. Evolution Chamber. Dang. I was really hoping one of those was a Hydroden. The natural is still pretty, like, super undersaturated. The 6 drones that were pulled to mine the gas have really cut back on the minerals, but he is floating 1,000, so I'd say he's doing pretty alright. The Protoss, however, has not picked up either gas in his natural, and is running a large number of gateways. And there is charge just about completed. The robotics facility has finished warping in, so we might see some Colossi or a Mortal play, depending on how strong Filvex scouts or the type of build he wants to go. So eagerly awaiting whatever unit comes out of that robotics facility. These Zerglings have been manning the watchtower for a long time. Dubside keeping good control of when the Protoss player Filvex is trying to take his third, so he can promptly do something about it. Try to deny it. A large number of roaches is now on the field, with 5 more incoming, so the army tab is definitely in Dubside's favor. A 30 food difference, just because he pushed out that expo much faster and denied the expo of the Zerg. Not the Zerg. Denied the expo of the Protoss. We do see tunneling claws and burrow on the way, so we might see some subterranean other words that I probably shouldn't say. Roaches out of Dubside. I love it when these roaches burrow and tunnel around, because they heal super fast, and it's just so scary. It's like the movie Tremors if it were good. Like just a bunch of monsters living underground trying to kill everybody. We do have one observer. He is making his way over to the Zerg base. He will see the saturation and possibly the fact that there is a third up for Dubside. If I were the Protoss player and I saw this third was down, I would be I'd be a little upset because I'd be in a really bad position. The fact that Dubside is on 3 bases to the Protoss' 2 is not a situation the Protoss wants to be in. He wants to try to force an even number of bases as often as he can, but there's a huge number of roaches in the main here, and +1-1 hasn't quite finished for Dubside, but however, the Protoss is 1-0, and both sides really just kind of A-moving, but the Zealots will not tank forever, and the Protoss is going to back off, throw a force field, and that force field is going to scare off the roaches here. He will be backing out, not utilizing burrow or tunneling claws, as he does not have tunneling claws yet. But there he goes with the burrow, and look at how fast these roaches heal. Isn't that obnoxious? It's so fast. It's crazy. We do have a lot of warpins coming in for the Protoss. 4 more Zealots. +1 attack is halfway done for the Protoss, but 1-1 is about to finish for Dubside. That will definitely give him the advantage. There is one observer somewhere, or the photon cannon is just being able to spot, so the roaches are forced to unburrow in a less than... Okay, my computer didn't break. The roaches were forced to unburrow in a less than favorable spot here. And a little bit of burrow micro out of Dubside. This one, couple of roaches still burrowed. The photon cannon trying to pick off a few, but I would say he came out behind, and he did, about 400 resources behind. But he still has a very large number of roaches, and the advantage of the army and food count now belongs to the Protoss. The extra warpins of units definitely, the defender's advantage was given to the Protoss. He will be 2-0 here in a second. But Dubside is on his way to 2-2, so Dubside doing a really good job of keeping his research upgrades going. There are no immortals for this Protoss player. I'm honestly a little surprised about that. I would have thought that would be the first thing that the Protoss would have gone for. If you see a lot of roaches, first response is usually immortal, just because it's like taking a butterfly and just ripping off the wings. Or like any insect and just ripping off the wings. That's kind of what immortals do to roaches. They just run up to roaches and tear their limbs off and just laugh as the carcass kind of lays there. It's pretty graphic, and it's probably not a pleasurable thing to be thinking about, you know, ripping limbs off of bugs. But I mean, that's what immortals do, man. That's war for you. And the Hydra Den I saw, don't think I didn't see it. The Hydra Den has finished. Where the heck is it? Is it in the third? It's in the third. The Hydra Den is down, so we will be seeing Roach Hydra as soon as he is unsupply blocked. Actually, both players were currently supply blocked at that moment. But the food count is back in the favor of Dubside with just a stupid number of roaches. Like, there's just so many roaches, and they're going to be 2-2 here real shortly. The Protoss player just now getting that Immortal on the way. He will only have one if Dubside will decide to push out, so the Immortal isn't even going to be here. So, more Zealots being warped in. I really feel like Stalkers are a stronger choice against Roaches, but Charge is done, and Force Fielding half the army. We'll try to halt some of the DPS out of the Protoss here. Good Force Fields. Not halt the DPS out of the Protoss, halt the DPS of the... If you are more tech-savvy than I and you understand why that is happening, you should go ahead and tell me, so that I can fix it, so we can stop happening. But the fact that the force fields were so strong and did cut that Roach army in half and really cut down the DPS will not matter, as it is just an overwhelming number of Roaches. I feel like the Zealots were not a good choice, and here he is getting a bunch of Stalkers. The Immortal will pop here in a second, so if Filvex plays this right, he will be able to hold somehow, some way, this one Immortal making his way down. A little bit of Burrow Micro here. The cannons do give detection, and the Roaches will retreat with Overlord reinforcements on the way. Here comes some Hydras. As soon as these Hydras get to the front line, it is going to be a bad day to be a Protoss, as Hydras are like, I don't know, Hydras just mess up gateway units, because their DPS is just so high. They do 13 damage in like half a second. It's ridiculous. They shoot so fast. The Protoss player is stuck on 2 base until he breaks this kind of Zerg contained. Dubside is picking up his 4th base in the upper right hand corner, so he is definitely staying ahead as far as the economy. Not running as many gas geysers as he could or should be if he is pumping Roach Hydra, so his gas count is getting kind of low while his mineral count is getting kind of high. So definitely maybe want to pick up another geyser in the 3rd, or maybe even 2 if he's really struggling to keep up with the gas. We do have an infestation pit on the way, so Hive Tech will be right around the corner, which is really exciting because then that means Ultralisks and Broodlords, and that just means Rage Quits are incoming. Because I hate playing against Ultralisks and Broodlords. We do have the Roaches coming in for another little poke here, supported by the Hydralisks. 2 Immortals now are on the field, so these Roaches will not last very long. 1 force field going down, not much of use. I'm sure the Protoss player thought he had a few more than he did, and 1 more Roach will be sniped. And if I were the Protoss and I saw that this Roach Hydra comp was Hydra heavy, I would move in. I would warp in like 6 charge lots and just go, because the charge lots will tank a lot of the damage. They'll charge right up to the Hydras, and Hydras are so squishy that without that Roach support in front to tank the damage, Hydras just, it's really hard to keep them alive. So I would definitely have pushed out if I were the Protoss player here. But I don't play at toss, so that might just be like the worst idea in the world, and I'm giving terrible advice. If I were the Protoss, this would be a great time for Filvex to secure his 3rd. He has just now secured this low ground, taking it away from Dubside in this little meantime while he is droning up. A Spire is on the way. Hive Tech also incoming, so we might be seeing some Broodlords here soon. Filvex has not picked up his 3rd, but he really needs to. He is mined out of his main. Just, warping in a few Stalkers to try to snipe this Overlord here. And the Overlord, oh, he has nowhere to go. despite the vast recesses of space out here.